All right, introducing AWS KMS as part of Teleport 15. This isn't a fancy end user facing feature, but I think it's really going to improve our security posture for anyone running Teleport on AWS. So I wanted to share a quick demo and overview. To take a step back, I often like to think of Teleport as a certificate authority with a bunch of UX features on top. Now that cert authority is backed by cryptographic key pairs that sign all end user certificates used to log into the cluster and access resources. Those key pairs are generated the first time the auth service starts up for a new cluster, and they're usually stored in raw form in the backend database. Now they can be stored in AWS KMS instead. This means they can never be exfiltrated even if the entire backend is compromised. So I'll quickly show how you would set this up for a brand new cluster, which is going to be the simplest case. This is our docs page here. The first step, as usual with any AWS feature, is you have to set up your IAM policy to give Teleport auth service permissions to do what it needs in your AWS account, which is create and list keys, use them to sign things, everything you would expect. So you would just attach this wherever you're going to run your Teleport auth service, whether this is on an EC2 instance or an EKS pod. You just need to provide these credentials to your auth service. And then in your teleport.yaml, it's really just these 4 lines configuring the AWS account and region where you want your keys. And Teleport will basically handle everything else from there. So if I go over to my terminal, this is my configuration for my little test Teleport cluster here. You can see I've got this configured in our Teleport dev account in this region. This is really all I've done to enable KMS in this cluster. So if I go ahead and start my auth service, this is the first time it's starting for a new cluster. So you can see here it generated all my cert authorities. If I actually go back over to KMS and AWS, you can see those new keys just pop right up. These are the keys it generated. I can even see these from the Teleport side. We can see that it's not actually storing any private keys. It's only storing IDs to the keys in AWS. So yeah, that's pretty much it. After you start the auth server like this, the user should never really have to see this feature again, and they can just rest easy knowing we're not storing their critical private keys in their backend. The only caveat is if you have a customer already running a Teleport cluster with raw keys and they're interested in migrating to AWS KMS, it's a little bit more of an involved process because they are going to have to do a cert authority rotation. This means if they have any open SSH servers or databases already configured to trust the Teleport CAs, those are all going to need to be rotated. However, we have improved the UX for rotating towards AWS KMS or HSMs in Teleport 15. You can configure the feature the same way we just did with a new cluster, and then gradually rotate to using those new KMS keys over time without any downtime. All right, that's about it. Thanks very much.